Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome to another video where I go through the GT4 RS. Yeah, it should be good, so I'll get straight into the video. Something I've done a lot of videos on in the past around the GT4, having spent such a lot of time on track on the 981 GT4, which I've done a few videos on that on the past. This is something I'm really excited about and I really want to see Porsche produce. But before I get straight into the video, thanks so much for the support, the subscriptions, the likes, the views. It's been really great, and it's been great talking to you guys from all kind of around the world. Yeah, general conversations with people sort of in Canada, America, the UK, wherever. It's been really cool, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and it's part of this kind of community channel. We're all kind of automotive enthusiasts. Yeah, and I've really been enjoying making the videos, and yeah, I hope you have been enjoying it. But please support the channel. It's a small channel, but hopefully it could get bigger, so yeah, please subscribe, and the likes make a huge difference as well to the channel, and share it if you think someone else would like it. Yeah, straight into the GT4 RS. So this is the first picture and probably the best one I've seen, and the rear wing on it is the first most notable thing. And actually one thing I'll go on to about this sort of test mule that's been spotted around sort of Germany, around the Nürburgring, is how a lot of the car seems quite purposeful and substance over style, if that makes sense. And the rear wing kind of reminds me of the McLaren Senna, which is obviously a good thing. In fact, it looks exactly like that. I guess a little bit of that is because of legislation, so it's had to move it slightly further forward, but it obviously provides such a huge amount of downforce, and certainly from these pictures in black it looks fantastic. The rear diffuser doesn't look too much different from the standard GT4, and I guess the reasoning around that is that they can't go too far over the top if you want to actually see them produce this, because with costs and everything and the way the world is moving, they have to be quite careful. You'll also slightly notice on this picture is like the just behind one of the windows, it's almost like a covered off slat, almost like you'd see on like a racing car. The aerodynamics have been sort of #1 priority from these kind of testings. Go through a few other pictures as well. So from the front, yeah, it looks really dirty, but who cares, it's there to be driven. The wheels look great, huge carbon ceramic brakes, similar to you can get on the standard GT4. But the front doesn't look too much different. I think they worked quite a lot on the aero on the GT4. I do like the bonnet, that sort of says RS to me. Really exciting actually just looking at this car. It's one of those cars that just is quite special to me. You know, I'd love a two-car garage if I could ever get one. I love my Golf R. It does everything I could possibly want out of a car for being fun and being a daily. But to have something like this on the side, I mean, please Porsche, make this car. You know, make it in sort of like limited numbers if you have to. You know, I know price is going to be an issue, and I know it's going to end up potentially overlapping with the 911. But let's be honest, we're not going to see these cars in sort of a few years' time. We're really not. So if there's ever a chance of them producing it, now's the time, before we hit electric, before we hit cars with absolutely no noise, before we lose naturally aspirated engines and manual gearboxes, which I hope this one has. Just going through another sort of side-on view of the car. It sort of reminds me of almost like a slightly older Cayman actually from some of the angles, but I guess Porsche quite like that. They don't drastically change the looks of their cars. It's a very purposeful car, and if you take like even like this latest Civic Type R, there's bits hanging all off it, but it does the job. You know, it's a very quick car around the Nürburgring, and a very popular car from sort of journalists as well. Those wheels in particular look fantastic on this. In terms of like power and spec, we don't really know. It's likely going to have the same sort of 4-litre naturally aspirated engine that you find in the 718 GT4, and also now the 4-litre GTS. But for me, I would say don't whack up the power massively. I mean, you're looking at about 415, 420 brake horsepower PS for the standard GT4. So if they brought this up, even if it's just to, let's say just to say 450, I'd say that would be more than enough, because this is a car that's clearly about the handling rather than anything else. And they could definitely squeeze more power out of that engine without having to break the bank, because that's the main thing. It's all about whether or not it fits with the current climate. Particularly with the coronavirus, it's going to be quite hard, but you know, fingers crossed they make a car like this, and they are testing it, so clearly there might be room for it. Nice picture of it here on the Nürburgring. You see how flat it's cornering and how much fun that would be to drive. Yeah, it seems like a really exciting car, and I just wanted to share a few pictures. Recently sort of spotted this car, I believe a few weeks ago now. We're on the 9th of April, and this is kind of the latest I know about it. Yeah, give it a like if you want this car to be made. You know, I certainly do. It'd be great to see what it's like. And let me know what you'd like to see from a GT4 RS. I know I've got sort of Porsche enthusiasts as well as part on my channel. I've done plenty of Porsche content in the past as well. And just general car enthusiasts. What do you think about this car? And yeah, let's see if they can make it happen, because it would certainly put a smile on a lot of people's faces. Before, unfortunately, we have to kind of say goodbye to these type of cars. My personal perspective from driving a lot of Cayman, spending a lot of time around Porsche at Silverstone, they're like little tight track alongside the main circuit. I've always preferred the Cayman to the 911, having driven them back to back. That mid-engined layout, naturally aspirated power, it's quite a small little car. It kind of does everything you'd want on a small little track. Certainly that's where you can kind of get the most fun out of a car, I find. And you can get it with carbon ceramic brakes, so it brakes better than anything. It's got enough power, particularly for small circuits. Maybe massively open circuits it might struggle. Something like the Nürburgring, it's going to struggle to set the best lap times in the world, but you're going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. And frankly, round corners, nothing's going to stop this. And I love that wing. I think it looks a bit weird from some views, but you know you're on, it looks like a bit of scaffolding to a point. But yeah, it's certainly a very purposeful car, and a lot of kind of engineering know-how has kind of gone into it, certainly from this testing. But yeah, just a quick video. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, fingers crossed they can make this car. And yeah, check out my other content as well. Plenty of Golf R content, plenty of other Porsche content, bit of Focus RS content and Fast Forward content as well on the channel. So yeah, bit of a car enthusiast, like to bring out the latest on like sort of the Mark 8 Golf R, hopefully the Mark 4 Focus RS as well. Yeah, lots of exciting things to come, and hopefully we can get through this period, we can enjoy some really, really nice cars. And yeah, drop a comment as always, really interested to know your thoughts. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys!